Chosen one. You are not here by accident, and you are not listening to these words by coincidence. This moment has been appointed, timed, and released by heaven itself. Something has shifted in the unseen, and your spirit felt the signal before your mind could explain it. The same God who orders the steps of the righteous has drawn you into this message because you are standing on the edge of a supernatural unveiling. Chosen one. What just happened in your life was not exposure, it was revelation. What surfaced was not a mistake, but a mantle. Heaven has allowed a former identity to fall away, so a higher one could be recognized, and those watching were never prepared for the weight of what God hid inside you. As it is written in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1, there is a time and a season for every purpose under heaven, and your season has now turned. Anointed one, this is the hour where silence gives way to acceleration, where years of preparation collide with divine timing. Elevation is unfolding suddenly. Provision is shifting hands. Authority is being restored. What looked like delay was protection, and what looked like obscurity was incubation. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 declares that though the vision tarry, it will surely come, and it will not delay. Chosen. One, steady your spirit. Open your heart. What you are about to hear is not information. It is transfer. Chosen. One, hear this slowly and let it settle in your spirit. What they saw was not deception. What surfaced was not a trick, and it was never a performance. You only ever gave them what their perception could carry. Nothing more, nothing less. And now that heaven has permitted the fuller picture to emerge, they call it shocking, because they were never prepared to see you whole. This moment is not about exposure. It is about evolution catching up with time. Anointed one, while they were busy measuring life in likes, comments, and surface-level applause, you were being trained in silence. I know this because I have walked that road. There were seasons when I questioned why God would ask me to stay quiet, when everything in me wanted to explain, defend, or prove. But silence was not punishment. It was preparation. And the same was true for you. Every pause in your life was not absence, it was alignment. Every moment you were overlooked was not rejection. It was protection. Chosen, one, heaven does not rush what it intends to sustain. What people call delay, God calls incubation. You were never meant to be understood prematurely. You were being shaped for a moment that required depth, not noise. While others were reacting emotionally, you were learning discernment. While they were performing identity, you were discovering it. And now that the unveiling has begun, it feels sudden to them, but it has been years in the making to you. Anointed one. There is a reason the reveal happened now and not earlier. Your spirit had to mature enough to carry what was coming without breaking. Your heart had to be refined, so elevation would not corrupt you. Your discernment had to sharpen, so you could see who truly belongs in your next season. I remember standing at the edge of my own shift, realizing that if certain doors had opened sooner, I would have mishandled the blessing. God knew what you could not yet see. He was not withholding. He was safeguarding. Chosen one. Some people are angry now because your growth exposed their stagnation. Others are confused because your discipline exposed their impulsiveness. But the few who are silent and watching closely understand something sacred. They sense that heaven's hand is on this moment. They feel the weight of divine timing, even if they cannot articulate it. This is what happens when preparation meets appointment. Scripture reminds us that there is a vision appointed for an exact time, and when it speaks, it does not lie. You are living inside that appointment now. Anointed one, do not rush to explain yourself. You do not owe clarity to those who benefited from misunderstanding you. The same God who hid Joseph in a prison before revealing him to a palace understands the power of concealment before promotion. What they are witnessing is not your ambition, it is God's orchestration. You did not calculate this moment out of ego. You surrendered to process even when it was uncomfortable, lonely, and misunderstood. Chosen one, I need you to hear this personally. The discipline it took you to stay consistent when no one was clapping is the same discipline that will sustain you now that eyes are on you. The restraint you practiced in obscurity is the very thing that qualifies you for stewardship in abundance. This is where the supernatural transfer begins. Not just of visibility, but of authority. Not just of recognition, but of provision. Heaven does not elevate carelessly, it elevates intentionally. Anointed one, breathe. Let go of the urge to manage how they feel about you. That is not your assignment. Your assignment is alignment. Your assignment is obedience. Your assignment is to remain anchored while everything around you recalibrates. This moment is not the peak, it is the doorway. And on the other side of this door is a level of responsibility, influence, and blessing that requires your full surrender. Chosen one, stay here with me. What comes next will explain why the silence mattered, why the wait was necessary, and why heaven chose this exact moment to move. Chosen one, there is a reason the unveiling disrupted more than conversations, it disturbed spiritual atmospheres. When something heaven prepared in silence emerges, it does not simply inform people, it confronts them. It forces buried comparisons, dormant insecurities, and unspoken envy to surface. That is why reactions feel extreme. You are not witnessing drama, you are witnessing exposure. Light does that. It does not ask permission before revealing what has been hidden. Anointed one. I remember a season when my own growth made rooms uncomfortable. Nothing about me changed outwardly, but something inside had shifted. Conversations felt strained, jokes landed wrong, and familiar faces became distant. At the time, I thought I was losing connection. Later, I realized I was shedding alignment. When God elevates you internally, the environment must adjust externally. That adjustment is rarely graceful. It often looks like confusion, resistance, or rejection. What you are experiencing now follows that same sacred pattern. Chosen one, do not mistake their shock for your responsibility. You did not break anything. You revealed what was already fragile. Structures built on assumptions always collapse when truth appears. This is why heaven waited. Your identity had to be strong enough to stand without approval. Your faith had to be rooted deeply enough that misunderstanding would not shake you. Elevation without grounding is dangerous. That is why your preparation lasted longer than you expected. Anointed one. There were nights when you questioned yourself quietly, moments when you wondered if obedience was costing too much. I know that weight. I know what it feels like to watch others advance publicly while you are asked to grow privately. But hidden growth produces lasting fruit. Public growth without roots produces collapse. God is not interested in flashes. He is invested in foundations. That is why what you carry now feels heavier, steadier, and more enduring. Chosen. One heaven is intervening in ways you cannot fully see yet. Doors are shifting without announcements. Resources are being redirected quietly. Conversations are happening about you in rooms you have never entered. This is how divine alignment works. It moves ahead of you, not behind you. You are not chasing favor. Favor is locating you. Scripture reminds us that promotion does not come from the east or the west, but from God alone, and His timing is precise. Anointed One. The wealth shift you sense is not merely financial. It is a transfer of trust, access, and authority. Money follows stewardship. Influence follows integrity. You were taught restraint before abundance, because abundance amplifies whatever is already present. The discipline you practiced when no one noticed will now govern what multiplies. This is why you must remain inwardly surrendered, even as things outwardly accelerate. Chosen One. Let me ground this for you. Divine elevation does not always feel victorious at first. Sometimes it feels isolating. Sometimes it feels like standing alone while others whisper. That does not mean you are exposed. It means you are emerging. When a seed breaks the surface, the soil around it shifts. What you feel is not danger, it is birth. And birth is never quiet. Anointed One, resist the urge to explain your journey. Explanations dilute mystery, and mystery protects momentum. Jesus Himself often withdrew after miracles, not because He feared attention, but because He understood timing. You are allowed to guard your process. You are allowed to say less while heaven does more. Silence is not weakness here, it is wisdom. Chosen One, stay anchored. Stay prayerful. Stay humble. The same God who carried you through obscurity is now guiding you through visibility. This is not the moment to grasp control. This is the moment to deepen surrender. What is unfolding is bigger than validation. It is alignment with assignment, and heaven does not miss its mark. Chosen One, breathe deeply and remain present. Do not rush this season or romanticize the past. You are not leaving something behind, you are stepping forward into clarity. Each day will require discernment, patience, and courage. Trust that what feels unfamiliar is simply expansion. Heaven does not dismantle you to harm you, but to position you precisely where your calling can finally move freely. Chosen One. There comes a moment when the shift is no longer subtle, when even those who doubted must confront the evidence standing in front of them. This is that moment for you. Not because you demanded recognition, but because consistency eventually speaks louder than opinion. Heaven has a way of making preparation visible without asking for permission, and when it happens, it rearranges power quietly but permanently. What feels like sudden attention is simply delayed acknowledgement catching up to truth. Anointed One. You may notice how people speak differently now. Their tone carries hesitation, curiosity, sometimes even reverence. This is not about admiration, it is about recalibration. They are adjusting to a version of you that no longer fits inside the boxes they built. I remember realizing this in my own life, when familiar advice stopped making sense and unsolicited opinions fell silent. It was not because I became unreachable, but because the authority in my spirit had matured beyond debate. Chosen One, understand this clearly. When God elevates you, He does not ask the crowd to agree first. He moves, and alignment follows. That is why some relationships feel strained. Not every connection is designed to cross thresholds with you. Some were assigned only to the preparation season. Their role was never to walk with you into expansion. Release them without bitterness. Gratitude closes cycles cleanly. Anointed One, there is also a temptation in moments like this to harden your heart, to become guarded to the point of isolation. Wisdom requires boundaries, not walls. You do not need to disappear to remain protected. You need discernment. Discernment is the difference between solitude and loneliness. Solitude is chosen. Loneliness is resisted. God often invites you into solitude during elevation, so your ears stay tuned to Him rather than applause. Chosen one, let me speak from lived experience. The most dangerous season is not obscurity, it is transition. When doors begin to open but clarity has not fully settled. Impatience whispers. Ego tries to speak. Fear pretends to be urgency. This is why surrender must deepen now, not loosen. You are being trusted with influence that will shape others, even if you never intended to lead them. People watch more than they listen. Anointed one. This is where integrity becomes visible, not performative integrity, but quiet consistency. How you treat those who no longer serve your future will matter. How you handle praise without addiction will matter. How you steward opportunities without rushing will matter. Elevation is not proven by what you gain, but by what does not change inside you when everything else does. Chosen one. Heaven is positioning you as a reference point. Not an idol, not a savior, but a signal. A living reminder that patience still works, that obedience still bears fruit, that silence is still powerful. Your life is becoming a testimony without announcements. That is why the weight feels heavier now. Testimonies carry responsibility. Anointed one, you are allowed to rest even as things move. You are allowed to enjoy peace even while growth accelerates. Hustle is not holiness. Exhaustion is not evidence of calling. God does not require you to burn out to prove worthiness. He invites you to abide. When Jesus withdrew, it was not retreat, it was recalibration. Follow that rhythm. Chosen one, as you move forward, resist the urge to replay old wounds. The mind often revisits pain when unfamiliar blessings arrive. It tries to protect you by reminding you of what once hurt. But that chapter has served its purpose. You survived it. You learned from it. You are not being called back to it. Keep your eyes forward. Anointed one, trust that what feels fragile right now is actually forming strength. New levels always feel unstable at first because you are learning new footing. Balance returns quickly when you stop resisting the shift. Let grace carry what control never could. You are not late. You are not early. You are exactly on time. Chosen one, remain anchored. Heaven is not finished arranging what this moment requires. What you see now is only the visible layer of something far more intricate unfolding behind the scenes. Stay attentive, stay humble, stay surrendered. The same hand that guided you here is still holding you now. Chosen one. There is a deeper layer unfolding beneath everything you can see, and it requires a different kind of attention. This season is not just about what changes around you, but about what is being refined within you. Elevation reveals residue. It exposes patterns that once hid comfortably in obscurity. This is not condemnation. It is invitation. God refines what He intends to use. Anointed one, you may feel moments of internal tension where confidence and humility wrestle quietly. This is normal. Confidence acknowledges what God has done. Humility remembers who did it. When these two walk together, you become unshakable. When they separate, imbalance follows. I have learned this the hard way, watching gifted people lose alignment, not because they lacked calling, but because they stopped listening when momentum arrived. Chosen one, your discernment must now operate at a higher frequency. Not everything that looks like opportunity is assignment. Not every invitation is alignment. Favor attracts noise as well as blessing. The difference is felt in your spirit before it is explained by logic. Pay attention to what brings peace, not just excitement. Peace is the language of divine approval. Anointed One, this is also a season where generosity shifts form. It is no longer just about what you give materially, but what you withhold wisely. Access is currency, attention is currency, time is currency. Steward them carefully. You are not called to pour into every cup that reaches for you. Some cups leak, some cups poison. Discernment protects both you and them. Chosen One, heaven-backed provision often arrives quietly at first. It may look like ideas that solve problems effortlessly, connections that feel aligned without striving, resources that appear at the exact moment of need. This is not coincidence, it is orchestration. When God funds an assignment, He supplies it according to purpose, not ego. Stay aligned with purpose and provision will follow naturally. Anointed One, I want to ground this in reality for you. There will still be ordinary days. Laundry still piles, bills still exist, emotions still fluctuate. Spiritual elevation does not remove humanity, it redeems it. Do not chase constant intensity. Faithfulness lives in the mundane. God often hides miracles inside routine. Chosen One, you may notice a growing discomfort with environments that once felt normal. This is not superiority. It is sensitivity. Your spirit has been tuned differently. Protect it. What you consume mentally, emotionally, spiritually matters now more than ever. Exposure shapes perception. Perception shapes direction. Anointed One, remember that obedience rarely feels dramatic in the moment. It often feels simple, even anticlimactic. Yet those small choices stack. They build a future you will one day look back on with awe. Do not underestimate the power of daily alignment. Heaven multiplies consistency. Chosen One, as influence increases, accountability must deepen. Surround yourself with voices that challenge you gently, not flatter you loudly. Correction is not rejection. It is refinement. God often speaks through those who love you enough to be honest. Listen without defensiveness. Anointed One, rest remains a command, not a suggestion. Burnout dulls discernment. Fatigue distorts perspective. You are not more valuable when depleted. You are more effective when whole. Honor your limits as sacred boundaries. Chosen One, trust that even when clarity feels partial, guidance is complete. You are not required to see the entire path to take the next step. Faith has always worked this way. One step, then another. Obedience reveals what planning never could. Anointed One, breathe deeply and stay present. What is unfolding is steady, intentional, and precise. You are not being rushed. You are being led. Continue walking humbly, listening closely, and surrendering fully. Heaven's hand is steady on your life, and that steadiness will carry you exactly where you are meant to stand. Chosen One, as the momentum continues to build, you may feel a subtle but persistent call inward, a pull toward stillness, even as the world grows louder around you. This is not contradiction. This is calibration. When influence increases, intimacy with God must deepen, otherwise the noise will distort your hearing. There were seasons in my own life when everything externally accelerated while my spirit was being invited to slow down. I learned that God does not speak over chaos. He waits for quiet hearts that can discern nuance rather than demand spectacle. Anointed One, this stage requires maturity more than intensity. Passion brought you this far, but wisdom will carry you forward. Wisdom knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Wisdom understands that not every reaction deserves a response, and not every misunderstanding needs correction. You are learning that strength is not proven through constant engagement but through restraint. Restraint preserves energy for what truly matters. Chosen one. You may notice that some doors are opening effortlessly while others remain firmly closed despite your qualifications. Do not fight closed doors. Resistance is often redirection. I once chased an opportunity that looked perfect on paper but left my spirit uneasy. When it finally fell apart, I was disappointed until I saw what opened next. God closed that door to spare me from compromise. Trust that what remains closed is protecting you from misalignment. Anointed one. Your past identity reveal did more than shift perception. It clarified assignment. You are being positioned not just to succeed, but to steward influence with compassion. People will project expectations onto you, some fair, some unrealistic. You are not required to fulfill every projection. Your calling is specific, not universal. Stay focused. Diffused energy weakens impact. Chosen. One humility will now be tested subtly, not through obvious temptation, but through small concessions that seem harmless. A little exaggeration, a little self-justification, a little compromise for convenience. Guard your heart. Integrity is not lost in dramatic moments. It erodes quietly when boundaries blur. Keep your yes clean and your no firm. Anointed one. There is also joy reserved for you here, though it may arrive differently than you imagined. Joy will not always come through applause. Often it arrives as peace at the end of the day, knowing you acted in alignment. It arrives in the quiet confidence that you did not betray yourself to belong. That kind of joy sustains longer than excitement ever could. Chosen one. You may feel the urge to rush toward the next milestone, but remember that presence is power. The future will come without your anxiety pushing it. God works outside urgency. He is not impressed by speed, but by obedience. Remain attentive to today. The small choices you make now are shaping outcomes you cannot yet see. Anointed one, allow yourself to receive help without guilt. Independence kept you alive in earlier seasons, but interdependence will strengthen you now. Let trusted people support you. Let community refine you. Even the strongest leaders need safe places to rest their armor. Chosen one, continue walking gently with yourself. Growth does not erase humanity. You are still learning, still adjusting, still becoming. Grace did not bring you this far to abandon you now. Stay anchored in gratitude. Gratitude keeps the heart soft and the spirit receptive. Anointed one. As you close this part of the journey, hold this truth quietly. You are not proving anything anymore. You are simply becoming who you were always meant to be, one aligned step at a time. Chosen one. As this phase unfolds, you may sense a quiet certainty settling within you, not loud or boastful, but steady and unshakable. This certainty is not rooted in circumstance. It is rooted in trust. Trust that God has been faithful before and will remain faithful ahead. Trust that even when outcomes differ from expectations, purpose is never compromised. Anointed one. You are learning to move without constant confirmation. Early in the journey, reassurance was necessary. Now discernment guides you. You no longer need external validation to authorize obedience. This shift marks spiritual adulthood. It is when faith becomes instinctive rather than reactive. Chosen one, there will be moments when progress feels invisible again. Do not panic. Growth often cycles between visibility and hidden strengthening. Muscles build in rest, not just exertion. Allow seasons of quiet consolidation. They prevent collapse during expansion. Anointed One, keep your inner life nourished. Prayer is not a task to complete, but a place to return. Worship recalibrates priorities. Reflection guards perspective. These practices are not religious habits. They are lifelines. When maintained, they keep ambition from outrunning wisdom. Chosen. One, remember that leadership does not always look like command. Sometimes it looks like listening. Sometimes it looks like stepping back so others can rise. Authority rooted in security does not fear sharing space. It multiplies influence rather than hoarding it. Anointed. One, money, recognition, and opportunity will continue to test alignment. None of these are evil, but all are revealing. They show where trust truly lives. Hold resources loosely. Steward generously. Let provision flow through you rather than terminate with you. This posture keeps channels open. Chosen One, remain aware of your thought life. Elevation amplifies internal dialogue. Replace self-criticism with truth. Replace fear with remembrance. You have survived things you once thought would break you. That evidence matters. Let it strengthen confidence without breeding pride. Anointed One. When mistakes happen, respond quickly with humility. Correction is lighter when embraced early. God is not threatened by imperfection. He resists stubbornness, not weakness. Keep your heart teachable. It is your greatest protection. Chosen One. You may be tempted to define yourself solely by impact now. Resist that narrowing. You are more than what you produce. Rest is not wasted time. It is maintenance for longevity. Honor rhythms that sustain body, mind, and spirit. Anointed One, as new chapters begin, carry remembrance with you. Remember where you started. Remember who stood with you when no one else saw. Remember the prayers whispered in uncertainty. Memory guards against entitlement and fuels gratitude. Chosen One, let peace govern decisions more than pressure. Pressure often mimics urgency, but peace confirms direction. If something demands constant anxiety to sustain it, question its source. God's leading may stretch you, but it does not suffocate you. Anointed One, continue forward with quiet courage. Courage does not always roar. Sometimes it simply shows up consistently. You are not required to announce every step. Walk faithfully. Let results speak. Chosen One, trust that what is ahead will meet you when you arrive. Preparation has not been wasted. Nothing learned has been unnecessary. Every season contributed to your stability now. Anointed One, remain open, grounded, and surrendered. This journey is ongoing, layered, and sacred. You're not chasing destiny, you're walking with it. Chosen One, there is a quiet recalibration happening now, one that does not announce itself, but steadily reshapes how you see the world and yourself within it. You may notice that your tolerance for chaos has decreased, not because you are fragile, but because your spirit has learned order. Disorder no longer excites you. Drama no longer feeds you. You are becoming selective, and selectivity is a sign of maturity. What once felt normal now feels heavy, and that is because your capacity has shifted. Anointed One. This is the stage where discernment becomes instinct rather than effort. You do not need to analyze everything anymore. You feel alignment immediately, and you feel resistance just as clearly. Trust that. I learned that the hard way by overriding quiet warnings in favor of logic, only to later realize my spirit had already spoken. You are being trained to listen the first time. This will save you years. Chosen one, your boundaries will be misunderstood by those who benefited from your lack of them. Some will call you distant, others will say you changed. Let them speak. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. Gates allow intentional entry. They protect what is sacred. You are not obligated to grant everyone the same level of access you once did. Stewardship applies to relationships as much as resources. Anointed one, there is also a shedding happening internally. Old narratives about who you had to be to survive are losing power. You no longer need to overperform to feel worthy. You no longer need to explain your pain to justify your strength. Survival mode taught you resilience, but it is not meant to be permanent residence. You are transitioning from survival to stewardship. Chosen one, this transition can feel disorienting. When you are no longer fighting fires, you may wonder who you are without urgency. Peace can feel unfamiliar when chaos was once constant. Give yourself time to adjust. Stillness is not emptiness, it is space for clarity. God often speaks most clearly when noise subsides. Anointed one, you may notice that your prayers are changing. They are less about rescue and more about alignment, less about asking and more about listening. This is growth. Childlike faith asks boldly. Mature faith trusts deeply. Both are valuable, but they operate differently. You are learning to stand rather than cling. Chosen one, do not romanticize struggle as proof of calling. Difficulty can refine, but ease can confirm. When things begin to flow without resistance, do not sabotage it out of guilt. Grace does not need to be earned through pain. Sometimes provision is simply provision. Anointed one, remain aware of subtle pride that can arise from being the one who endured. Endurance is honorable, but it does not make you superior. It makes you responsible. Responsibility calls for compassion, not comparison. Remember how it felt to be unseen. Let that memory shape how you treat others. Chosen one, there will be moments when you feel alone even while surrounded. This is not abandonment. It is differentiation. You are being set apart in function, not isolated in worth. God often narrows circles before widening influence. Trust the narrowing. Anointed ones, stay grounded in simple disciplines: sleep, prayer, honest conversation. These are not small things. They are anchors. Great callings collapse without ordinary care. Chosen one, you are not losing anything of value in this season. You are gaining clarity. What falls away was never meant to sustain your future. Walk forward without regret, release without resentment, receive without fear. Anointed one, your pace is intentional now, slower where wisdom is needed, faster where obedience is clear. This balance will serve you well. You are not drifting, you are directed. Chosen one, continue with quiet confidence. You are not late, you are not behind. You are exactly where growth requires you to be. Chosen one, as you settle into this rhythm, you may begin to sense a deeper responsibility forming, not imposed, but chosen. Responsibility no longer feels like burden, it feels like stewardship. You understand now that influence is not about control, but about care. Care for what you say, care for what you build, care for those who watch without speaking. Your life is communicating even when you are silent. Anointed one, there is a refinement of motives happening beneath the surface. You are being invited to ask yourself why you pursue what you pursue. Not to condemn desire, but to purify it. Desire aligned with purpose multiplies impact. Desire rooted in validation drains energy. You are learning the difference through experience, not theory. Chosen one, You may notice that some ambitions have softened. Goals that once felt urgent now feel optional. This does not mean you are losing drive. It means your drive is being reordered. When identity stabilizes, ambition becomes servant rather than master. You act from fullness, not from lack. Anointed One. This is also where patience deepens. Not passive patience, but confident waiting. You are no longer anxious about being seen because you trust timing. You no longer rush outcomes because you trust process. This trust did not appear overnight. It was forged through disappointment, delay, and perseverance. Honor that journey. Chosen One, let your words carry intention. Speech has weight now. Casual negativity affects you more than it used to. Guard your mouth gently. Speak life without force. Silence criticism without bitterness. The tone you carry shapes the atmosphere you inhabit. Anointed One, remain teachable. Growth does not end at elevation. It becomes more nuanced. Correction may come quietly now through subtle checks rather than dramatic interventions. Pay attention to those inner pauses. They are guidance. Chosen One. There will be seasons when you outgrow plans you once prayed for. Do not cling to old visions out of loyalty. God is not offended when you release what He already fulfilled in a different form. Vision evolves as capacity expands. Anointed One, allow gratitude to remain central. Gratitude keeps success from hardening the heart. It reminds you that nothing is self-made, even when effort was required. Gratitude anchors you in truth. Chosen One, remember that rest is still sacred. Expansion without rest leads to erosion. Honor rhythms that restore you. Joy is not distraction, it is fuel. Anointed One, your presence now carries quiet authority. You do not need to announce it. Those aligned will feel it. Those threatened will resist it. Neither reaction requires your management. Stay steady. Chosen One, as this part of the journey unfolds, hold lightly what you hold and firmly who you are. Identity precedes assignment. Being precedes doing. When this order is honored, everything else aligns naturally. Anointed One, continue walking forward with humility, clarity, and trust. What you are becoming is unfolding at the right pace, in the right way, for the right reasons. Chosen One, there is a subtle strength emerging within you now, one that does not seek recognition and does not require defense. It is the strength of inner alignment. You are no longer trying to convince the world of who you are, because you have settled that question within yourself. This is where authority becomes effortless. When identity is resolved internally, external resistance loses its power. Anointed One, you may notice that your reactions are changing. Situations that once triggered urgency now invite pause. Conversations that once demanded explanation now pass without attachment. This is not indifference, it is discernment. You are learning that not every battle is yours, and not every opinion deserves your energy. Peace is becoming your filter. Chosen One, this season will test consistency more than courage. Courage brought you through uncertainty. Consistency will establish you in stability. Doing the right thing repeatedly, even when it feels ordinary, is what sustains long-term impact. There is no glamour in faithfulness, but there is power in it. Heaven multiplies what is steady. Anointed One, allow yourself to release the need to be understood. Understanding is often delayed. Alignment is immediate. Those meant to walk with you will recognize the resonance without explanation. Those who cannot will require clarity. You are not assigned to provide. Let silence do its work. Chosen one, you are also becoming more aware of your influence, even in small spaces. A word spoken casually lands deeply. A choice observed quietly inspires change. This awareness is not meant to burden you, but to ground you. Influence is not something you switch on. It flows from who you are being consistently. Anointed one, guard against subtle comparison. Comparison is refined distraction. It masquerades as motivation while quietly eroding gratitude. Your path is specific. Your pace is intentional. Looking sideways blurs vision forward. Stay present with what has been entrusted to you. Chosen one. There will be moments when clarity seems partial again. This does not mean direction is lost. It means trust is being strengthened. God rarely reveals everything at once, not to withhold, but to cultivate reliance. Each step reveals the next, and that rhythm keeps humility alive. Anointed one, let yourself enjoy simplicity. Complexity is not always depth. Sometimes depth is found in quiet routines, honest conversations, and unforced joy. You are allowed to live fully, not just purposefully. Purpose does not diminish pleasure, it sanctifies it. Chosen one, as this chapter matures, remain aware of your inner posture. Stay soft, stay curious, stay anchored. Growth that hardens the heart has missed its point. You are not being refined into distance, but into clarity. Anointed one, continue walking without rush. What is unfolding does not require pressure to sustain it. Grace is carrying more than you realize. Trust that. Chosen one. There is a sense of quiet readiness forming now, as if your spirit has stopped bracing for impact and started standing with assurance. This is not complacency. It is confidence rooted in trust. You know now that whatever unfolds, you will be guided through it. That knowing changes how you move. Anointed one, you are learning to hold success lightly, not dismissing it but not clinging to it either. You understand that seasons change and identity remains. This understanding protects you from both pride and fear. When outcomes no longer define you, freedom follows. Chosen one, there will be opportunities ahead that test alignment subtly. They will look good, sound reasonable, and promise efficiency. Pause before agreeing. Ask yourself whether they deepen purpose or merely expand activity. Expansion without alignment drains. Alignment naturally expands what matters. Anointed one, remember that growth is not linear. Some days will feel expansive, others will feel quiet. Both are necessary. Quiet days integrate what expansive days initiate. Do not rush integration. It is where wisdom settles. Chosen one. Your relationship with God is becoming less transactional and more relational. You are not measuring prayer by answers, but by presence. This shift brings stability. When presence becomes priority, peace follows regardless of outcome. Anointed one, keep choosing honesty with yourself. Self-awareness is a form of humility. Admit when you are tired. Acknowledge when you are unsure. Strength is not pretending, it is responding truthfully. Chosen one, allow gratitude to shape perspective daily. Gratitude does not deny difficulty, it contextualizes it. It reminds you that even challenges are held within provision. This posture keeps bitterness from taking root. Anointed one, as you move forward, remain attentive to joy. Joy is not reward for performance, it is confirmation of alignment. When joy fades consistently, pause and listen. Something may need adjustment. Chosen one. Your journey continues to unfold with intention. You are not wandering. You are being led. Each step matters, even the ones that feel small, especially those Anointed One, stay grounded in who you are becoming. Let patience complete its work. Let trust deepen. Let faith remain active, not anxious. Chosen One, continue forward with steadiness. What is forming within you now will sustain you far beyond what is visible today. Chosen One. This season is settling into your bones now, not as noise, but as knowing. You are no longer bracing for collapse or waiting for permission to exist fully. Something inside you has stabilized, and that stability is not self-made. It was formed through repetition, obedience, and quiet trust when outcomes were uncertain. You have learned that faith is not proven by intensity, but by consistency. And consistency has rewired how you see time. Days no longer feel wasted when nothing dramatic happens, because you understand that integration happens beneath awareness. This understanding is maturing you, not hardening you. You are gentler with yourself now, not because standards lowered, but because wisdom increased. Pressure has lost its authority, and urgency no longer dictates decisions. You are learning to move when clarity arrives, not when fear demands. That shift alone is evidence of growth. It marks the transition from surviving moments to stewarding seasons. You no longer ask who you must become to be accepted. You are asking how to remain aligned with what you already are. That question changes everything because it places identity before outcome and presence before performance. You are no longer chasing confirmation. You are carrying it. Anointed One. There is also a deepening humility unfolding alongside this confidence, and the two are not in conflict. True humility does not shrink you. It steadies you. You understand now that strength does not require announcement, and authority does not need defense. This has changed how you listen. You hear more than words. You sense motives. You notice timing. Discernment has become relational rather than reactive. I remember learning this slowly, realizing that wisdom often arrived as a quiet pause rather than a loud answer. You are learning to honor those pauses. They are not hesitation. They are guidance. You no longer rush to fill silence with explanation. Silence has become a collaborator rather than an enemy. In that space, clarity forms without strain. You are discovering that peace is not the absence of movement, but the presence of alignment. Even when responsibilities increase, your spirit remains anchored. That anchoring is what allows you to carry more without breaking. It is also what makes others feel safe in your presence, even if they cannot explain why. You are becoming someone whose steadiness regulates rooms. That is influence rooted in integrity. Chosen One. Your relationship with effort is changing as well. You still work diligently, but you no longer equate exhaustion with faithfulness. You have learned that God does not demand depletion as proof of devotion. Rest has become an act of trust rather than guilt. When you pause, you are not afraid of falling behind because you know you are being led, not chased. This trust is freeing creativity. Ideas come without force. Solutions emerge without striving. Provision meets needs with precision rather than excess drama. You are beginning to see that heaven often moves quietly, aligning details behind the scenes, while you remain focused on what is directly in front of you. That focus keeps you grounded. You are no longer distracted by every possible outcome. You attend to the next faithful step. This is how longevity is built. Not through constant acceleration, but through sustainable rhythm. You are learning to respect your limits without fear that honoring them will disqualify you. In truth, honoring limits is part of stewardship. It preserves clarity, health, and joy. Anointed One, there is also a subtle release happening in how you relate to your past. Memories still exist, but they no longer define direction. You can acknowledge what shaped you without living there. Pain has become teacher rather than anchor. Gratitude has softened what once felt sharp. You can look back without resentment and forward without anxiety. This emotional freedom is not denial. It is healing integrated into wisdom. You no longer need to prove how much you endured. Your presence speaks for itself. When challenges arise now, you meet them with perspective rather than panic. You know that difficulty does not equal failure. It often signals refinement. This awareness allows you to respond rather than react. Responses carry intention. Reactions carry residue. You are choosing intention more often. That choice is reshaping your future, quietly but decisively. Chosen one. Your sense of purpose is also becoming less dramatic and more grounded. You no longer feel the need to make every moment meaningful through intensity. Meaning is found in faithfulness. Purpose is expressed through consistency. This realization has brought relief. You can enjoy ordinary moments without feeling distracted by destiny. You can laugh, rest, and connect without wondering if you are wasting time. This balance is healthy. It keeps you human while you remain aligned. God does not remove joy to fulfill calling. He integrates it. You are beginning to live from wholeness rather than anticipation. Wholeness does not eliminate desire. It purifies it. You still want to grow, but growth is no longer driven by lack. It is guided by alignment. This is a sacred shift. Anointed One, remain attentive to this steadiness. Protect it gently. Do not allow noise to convince you that louder is better or faster is wiser. You are walking a path that values depth over display. That path will not always be celebrated, but it will always be sustaining. Continue to listen closely. Continue to move deliberately. Continue to rest without apology. What is forming in you now is not temporary strength. It is durable character. That character will carry you through seasons yet unseen, and it will remain long after circumstances change. Chosen one, there is a deeper calm settling within you, now one that does not fluctuate with circumstances or the opinions of others. This calm is not passive. It is grounded. It comes from having walked through uncertainty long enough to recognize that fear no longer holds authority over your decisions. You are not immune to emotion, but you are no longer governed by it. That distinction matters. It means you can feel fully without being pulled off course. It means clarity is no longer fragile. It rests beneath the surface, steady and available whenever you return to center. You are learning that alignment is not something you achieve once and maintain effortlessly. It is something you practice daily through small, faithful choices. This practice has strengthened your inner posture. You stand differently now, even when no one is watching. Anointed One. There is also a maturity growing in how you perceive timing. You no longer interpret waiting as stagnation. Waiting has become an active space, one where refinement occurs quietly. You have learned that some answers arrive only after patience has done its work. This has softened your relationship with control. You still plan, but you no longer clutch outcomes tightly. You allow room for redirection without interpreting it as loss. I have learned in my own journey that the plans that unravel often make space for something truer to emerge. You are recognizing this pattern now, and it is reshaping how you respond to uncertainty. Instead of resisting it, you remain curious. Curiosity keeps the heart open. Resistance closes it. Chosen One. Your capacity for discernment has expanded alongside this patience. You can sense when something is meant for now, later, or not at all. This sensing is subtle but reliable. It does not shout, it nudges. You are learning to trust those nudges before doubt speaks. This trust has come from experience, from seeing how often intuition aligned with truth when you listened early. You are no longer dismissing quiet knowing in favor of louder voices. That shift is protecting your energy. It is also refining your relationships. You invest where reciprocity exists. You withdraw gently where imbalance persists. This is not withdrawal from love, it is alignment with health. Anointed One, there is also a deeper compassion forming within you, one that does not require you to fix or rescue. You can now sit with others in their process without absorbing their weight. This ability comes from having carried your own burdens honestly. You know what it is like to be misunderstood, to wait without clarity, to hold faith quietly. That knowledge has softened your judgments. You listen differently now. You speak with intention rather than urgency. People feel seen around you because you are no longer distracted by proving anything. Presence has become your offering. Chosen One, you may notice that your ambition feels quieter but more focused. This is not decline, it is refinement. You are no longer scattered by competing desires. You know what matters, and that knowing filters choices naturally. When options arise, you evaluate them not only by benefit, but by alignment. Does this deepen integrity? Does this preserve peace? Does this honor capacity? These questions guide you now. They are not restrictive, they are liberating. They prevent overextension and preserve joy. Anointed One, your understanding of success is also changing. Success no longer means accumulation alone. It means sustainability. It means being able to enjoy what you build without sacrificing yourself in the process. You are beginning to value longevity over immediacy. This perspective is rare, and it will serve you well. Many burn brightly and fade quickly. You are learning how to remain steady. Steadiness does not attract constant attention, but it builds trust. Trust compounds over time. Chosen One, you are also becoming more comfortable with not knowing everything. This comfort is not ignorance, it is humility. You understand that certainty is not required for obedience. Faith does not wait for full visibility. It responds to invitation. You have responded enough times now to recognize the pattern. Each step taken in trust revealed the next. This memory strengthens confidence. You are no longer asking for guarantees before moving. You are asking for alignment, and that is enough. Anointed One, there will still be moments when old fears attempt to resurface. They may whisper doubts about worth, readiness, or capacity. When they do, you no longer panic. You acknowledge them and return to truth. You have evidence now. Evidence of resilience, evidence of provision, evidence of guidance. You have lived through seasons you once thought impossible. That lived experience has become a quiet anchor. It does not shout at fear, it outlasts it. Chosen One, your relationship with responsibility is also maturing. You no longer confuse responsibility with pressure. Responsibility now feels like stewardship. You choose carefully what you carry. You decline what would overwhelm you without guilt. This discernment preserves clarity. It also models health for those watching. You are showing that leadership does not require self-abandonment. It requires self-awareness. Anointed One, there is an invitation here to remain deeply present, not anticipating the next breakthrough, not rehearsing the past, but inhabiting the now with intention. Presence grounds wisdom. It keeps you responsive rather than reactive. It allows you to notice subtle guidance that would be missed in haste. You are learning to slow enough to listen fully. This listening is shaping your decisions gently but decisively. Chosen one, your inner dialogue has softened as well. You are kinder to yourself in moments of fatigue. You do not shame yourself for needing rest. You honor limits without interpreting them as weakness. This self-compassion has strengthened resilience. It allows you to recover quickly rather than spiral. Recovery is a skill. You are developing it. Anointed one, your faith has become less performative and more integrated. It is not something you turn on. It is something you live within. Prayer feels conversational. Trust feels embodied. You no longer measure spirituality by intensity of emotion, but by consistency of alignment. This grounded faith sustains you through both abundance and uncertainty. Chosen one, continue honoring this steadiness. It is precious. Protect it from unnecessary noise. Choose environments that nourish rather than drain. Choose conversations that deepen rather than distract. You are not isolating yourself. You are curating wisely. Curation preserves clarity. Anointed one, as this part of the journey continues, remember that growth does not always announce itself. Often, it is recognized in hindsight when you realize how differently you respond now. Celebrate those quiet victories. They matter. They are markers of transformation. Chosen one, remain open, grounded, and receptive. What is unfolding within you is not rushed. It is intentional. You are becoming someone who can carry what is coming without losing yourself. That readiness is not accidental. It has been cultivated patiently, faithfully, and wisely. Chosen one, as we come to the close of this moment, do not rush past what your spirit has already recognized. This was not just a message you listened to. This was a moment of alignment. Heaven does not waste words, and it does not waste timing. What has been stirred in you now is confirmation that a supernatural transfer is already in motion. You are not approaching your breakthrough, you are standing inside it. Anointed one, this is your kairos moment. Not a someday, not a distant promise, but a divinely appointed now. The same God who concealed you for a season has revealed you with precision. What shifted in the unseen is now catching up in the visible. Grace is being released. Authority is being restored. Provision is being repositioned. You do not need to force what God has already authorized. Chosen one, receive this blessing with an open heart. May clarity rest on your mind. May peace guard your spirit. May courage rise where hesitation once lived. May discernment sharpen your steps so you recognize what is aligned and what is not. What belongs to you will not miss you. What is not assigned to you will no longer drain you. Anointed one, I declare that confusion is lifting and direction is settling. I declare that doors opening before you will open cleanly without striving or compromise. I declare that the discipline formed in your hidden seasons will now sustain you in visible ones. You are not being elevated to impress. You are being positioned to steward. Chosen one, remain faithful to the quiet instructions. Stay aligned with the flow of the anointing. Do not underestimate the power of daily obedience and small acts of trust. Heaven moves through consistency more than spectacle. What is manifesting next will arrive with peace, not panic, with confirmation, not chaos. Anointed one, look ahead with gratitude. Gratitude anchors blessing and multiplies provision. Even before you see the full outcome, give thanks for the process that shaped you, the protection that preserved you, and the timing that revealed you. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was delayed without purpose. Chosen one. If this message resonated in your spirit, honor that stirring in a simple way. You may leave a comment as a quiet testimony of alignment, or share this word with another soul who needs confirmation. If you feel led, remain connected to this space where truth, clarity, and divine timing are honored. Let connection flow from reverence, not obligation. Anointed one, go forward knowing this. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are seen, known, and guided. The hand that carried you through obscurity is steady upon you now. Walk gently. Walk boldly. Walk with trust. Chosen one, may grace meet you at every step. May wisdom guard your decisions. May abundance arrive in forms that strengthen, not distract. May your life continue to unfold in alignment with what heaven has written. Go in peace. Stay anchored. Remain expectant. What is already in motion will soon be undeniable.